Hello, I'm Angela Rose with the Harford County Chamber of Commerce, and today we have with us representatives from the ARC Northern Chesapeake region. As October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, we wanted to share with you and provide you with some education on how to bring a talented workforce to your business. It's my honor to welcome Kelly Comer with Carroll Community College and board member of the ARC Northern Chesapeake region to say hello and welcome today. So good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, and Angela, thank you so much to you and to the Chamber to support this important initiative. I'm so very pleased to be a part of the ARC board because they do so much for our community, and oftentimes they can be a best kept secret as to how they can support local businesses in their economic development. I think we all know that we really do have a job crisis now in the U.S. where so many employers cannot hire a workforce necessary to be able to do business as efficiently and effectively as they like. And so today we're hoping to explore that untapped workforce of how to hire individuals with differing abilities and how much they can bring to an employer and help them be successful in their mission. So I'd like to introduce Jeannie Beeman and Tony Cobb from the ARC, who are going to take it away and provide lots of details and insights that I think will help open our eyes to opportunities to help our businesses grow.
Thank you
Thanks, Kelly.
so
Oh,
much. And
sorry.
no, thank you so much and welcome, Jean and Tony. Kelly, you are spot on. One of the biggest issues that we hear from our members on a daily basis is that workforce issue. And we, as a chamber, have worked with the ARC Northern Chesapeake in the job program, and we cannot say enough wonderful things about it. So it's my pleasure to welcome Jean and Tony. And as Kelly said, please take it away, educate us.
So I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. We really appreciate to be able to get out the word to everybody. And Tony is going to present for us today and give you guys an overview of the organization and employment services.
Thank you all. Employment services. So I am Tony Cobb Cannon, Director of Employment Services. I have a team of about 20 people, between 20 and 25, that help people become employed and maintain employment. So that's the premise of what we do. And not usually, but always the people that we support, so our job seekers and our employees that work in the community, they want to be employed. So I'm going to go ahead and start my slideshow here. So as previously stated, we are rooted in the community, and our mission is empowering people with differing abilities to live, work, and thrive in the community. So again, people who want to work, we are an employment first state, and people who want to work, we believe that they can work. It's just a matter of finding the right job fit for them. But that is a mission of specifically for our department, to help people find gainful employment. So as stated previously, there is a crisis specifically for people who are differently able. And I just took this quote straight from Bureau of Labor Statistics. This is in the year 2022, 21% of the people with different abilities are employed. So that means 79% are not employed. So 79% of the citizens who are differently able don't have the opportunity or are not taking advantage of the benefits of being employed, which are contributing to the economy, family, friends, wants, and needs. So the majority of us, when we get our paycheck, we give back some kind of way, and that makes us feel good. We may not like paying taxes, but we appreciate that we are able to pay taxes and take advantage of what the taxes are used for. We like to be able to buy gifts for our friends and families. And definitely we want and we have needs. And so we appreciate being able to provide for our wants and needs. Community connections. so many people meet friends out in the community, or you get to know what's going on based on what's in the community. And oftentimes you hear that from the people that you work with. I marvel at people that met their significant other or spouse at work. There's a quote that says, don't get your honey where you make your money, but that's not necessarily true for everybody. Some people meet that special person or that special friend. And then confidence building, when you know better, you do better. And you have opportunities to grow in the workplace. You have opportunities to grow from one another, to learn new skills, etc. So based on that quote, 79% of the citizens are not able to take advantage of those benefits. So why are people who are differently able not working? Well, some of them fear rejection. So some of them don't even try because they have that mindset that they're not going to hire me anyway. They're going to look at me and turn me down. Some people just lack confidence. They don't think that they can work. And some people are afraid of that if they earn too much money, they will lose their social benefits, their food stamps, their social security benefits, etc. And then some people are not being employed at a rate that people who have all of their abilities because employers are afraid to hire them. And that's really where we come in. Yeah, we can help people who want to work overcome that feeling of being rejected. We can help build confidence. We can refer you to agencies that can talk to you about your social benefits and how employment can affect you. But again, this is for people who want to work. But where we shine is working with employers who would like to hire people who are differently able, but they are afraid. So some of the common questions they have are liability. Will the person that we hire, if they're differently able, be a liability? And my answer back to that question is, and probably all of the questions are, we can help with that. So we can provide job coaches. The job coaches are not going to put people in positions that they are not good matches for. So I think about my own self, for example. I'm the clumsiest person you know. I can never be a server. I can never balance that tray. And I would be a liability in a restaurant. So we vet people well. So if somebody else have the same issues of being clumsy like we know not to put that person in a restaurant. So we are going to do assessments on the people. We're going to train them. We're going to make sure that employers have the right fit. Slow and low productivity. My answer back to that is, again, we're going to provide good job coaching. And when we provide that job coaching in the business, we're going to come up with creative ways to help increase that productivity. But what I would say to an employer, prior to an employer saying to me, will it be slow or low productivity? Any new employer is going to have slower productivity until they become better acquainted with what they need to do and their responsibilities. Until they become comfortable, they're going to be a little slow. So we can nullify that because all new employees are not going to have the same productivity that your seasoned employees have. Transportation issues. So we can nullify that myth as well because, first of all, again, going back to our vetting process, if we don't feel like the person can get to work, then that is not going to be the right place of employment for them. But if they live in one of our houses, and you heard Jeannie talking about before we really got going, that we also have a residential program, we call it community living, but they can help with transportation, some of them. Hartford Transit, some people can take advantage of Hartford Transit where they get from door to door. We provide transportation training. So we help with transportation issues. And then another common question we get from employers or potential employers is, how will they interact, or how will our current employees interact with bringing someone in who has a different ability? And my answer back to that is treat them just like you would treat other employee. But our job coaches can come in and offer disability awareness training. We can offer sensitivity training. We can offer training specific to that person. So how do we work with, I just throw out Johnny. You know, what are Johnny's barriers? How does Johnny like to learn? How does Johnny like to receive? How does Johnny like to communicate? So we can offer specific training, or we can offer general training, you know, just basic diversity initiative training.
So Tony, what I'm really hearing you say is that as an employer, whatever questions or concerns that I may have as an employer, the ARC Northern Chesapeake region really tries to work with the employer to eliminate any concerns or barriers to employment, and really looks to be beneficial in the full sense of making sure it's a right fit and that everyone is going to be successful.
Exactly. So what the term we like to throw out in our department is we want to be good business partners. So we work for the people that we support, obviously, but also we want to be a good partner to our employers. We want our employers to be able to say, hey, the ARC provides an excellent service. And we want them to share that message with other hiring managers that they may know. But in order for us to ask the employer to share the good word, we have to provide a good service. And it starts with a good match. It also starts with our department being available, not only to the person that we support, but to be a good business partner as well.
And Tony, if I could just maybe follow up, could you just share a little bit about how you really work with the employer directly to customize the coaching so that you are really sure that the employer is getting their needs met with the employee and everything, and how that job coach operates at the employer's location, and how long and how in depth they support the individual?
Sure. So we're going to get into that. It is one of my slides, but I'll answer your question right now.
Sorry,
So
Tony.
customizing employment. So we have job developers in our department. That's just a fancy way of saying we have someone in our department, or a couple of people in our department, that go out, meet the employer, build those relationships. And part of their process is going into the business and say, hey, what are your needs? Where are the lags? What service can an employee provide for you? Or that's the job developers can also say, hey, we understand that you have this business need, you have an opening, you have a vacancy, let's talk. And so then, and once we establish that relationship and build the confidence with the employer, we apply for the position, and we're going to bring, after the person has accepted the position, they will be assigned a job coach. That job coach is going to be with them for at least 10 shifts initially. And then we're going to fade back, because that is the employer's employee. So we're going to fade back, but we're still going to be present. We're going to stop by at least twice a month just to make sure things are going well. However, 10 shifts may sound like a small number. We will let the employer know if anything arises, we'll be back. If the employee has new tasks, we'll be back, and we'll start that process all over again, where we're there all the time for those 10 shifts. Kelly, did I answer your question?
You did. Thank you.
You're welcome. And by the way, we do have an employer online. We're going to give her a chance to speak later, and hopefully she will validate everything that I'm saying. So this is an opportunity for me to brag about our department. We mentioned earlier that only 22% of the people who are differently able are working. So we want to brag and say we have beat that statistic by 3.5 times. So 73% of the people that we support are employed. So they are taking advantage of being able to contribute, have those community connections, and build their self-confidence. This is a tiny screen. I'm not sure if you can see it, so I'm going to read it. The people that we support, 70 in employment services, 73% of the people that we support are employed. 16% are in training. So we have a department called Discovery. It's just like it sounds. That's when we discover who they are, what kind of work they want to do, what are their interests, what are their preferences, what are their strengths. And we even identify barriers. So like I said about myself earlier, I'm a very clumsy person. We're going to identify those barriers and we're going to say, nope, you may be interested in, I don't know, being a professional basketball player. We know that that's not a possibility, but hey, would you like to work around sports? So are you interested in working at Ripken Stadium? That's just an example I pulled out of my head, but you get the idea. So we're going to help identify where the barriers are. Do we have to ask for some type of reasonable accommodations? Can we provide those accommodations? Because we are creative enough where we can go in and say, it may not work for you this way, but this way it will work for you. And then 11% of the people that we support in employment services are not employed. So they're not necessarily in that training and assessment phase either. So these are people that may have recently lost employment. So we had quite a few people that were working for the warehouses out here in Harford County, in Aberdeen or Bellecamp. Those warehouses closed, moved to other states. No fault of the people that we support, but now they have found themselves unemployed. And so it is up to us to start the process all over again, help them find a job. And sometimes that includes, maybe we need to retrain you or assess you. So another brag slide here. This is just a grid of different people that we support and the different jobs that you do. And you can see the Sheriff's Department jumps out, Sephora jumps out. So we are pretty visible throughout Harford County. And the caption says, we empower people with different abilities to obtain and maintain competitive, integrated employment. You'll see that those words again, but basically competitive is saying they make at least minimum wage. So that is a requirement, and they are integrated in the community. They work amongst people who are not differently able. And just to prove what I said, here is a slide of somebody that we support. These are his words verbatim. He says the ARC has done a lot for him. And what it really means is working has done a lot for him. He says, I love the people I work with, and I've grown a lot. So if you remember going back to a previous slide, we said that you build confidence when you work. He said, I've grown a lot. He said, I love the people we work. We said in a previous slide that you make connections. So his words exactly. Here I'm just sharing a few of our employers and business partners, but I'm just going to repeat that 73% of the people that we support in employment services are employed in an integrated setting, earning at least a minimum wage. And some of the work that they do include clerical, food prep, so they're working in restaurants, stocking, patient care. And we do have somebody with us today who works in patient care, Patricia McBride. I'll introduce her later. And we even have a security guard. We have business relationships with approximately 48 employers at this time. Some of the employers include APG, Brand M, Bel Air Circuit Court, Citizens, Outback Steakhouse, Harford County Public Schools. We're in quite a few of the school systems. Great Wolf Lodge, obviously that's a new relationship we recently built. Sephora Warehouse, Harford Mutual, American Build and Design. So yes, we have people in construction and home building, home repair. Jordan Thomas Salon, Jones Junction. And we have to back up our word. If we're gonna say that we want you to employ our people, then we have to be willing to employ our people as well. So we have some people working here at ARC Northern Chesapeake Region. And I calculated we cover about 12 industries. So government, military, hospitality, just to name a few, construction and home repair, automotive sales and retail, banking, recreation, warehouse and distribution, and security. The benefits of our relationship with our employers. Well, we help build a strong workforce. We help build a healthy culture. The two of those together, we facilitate diversity, equity, and inclusion. And in doing so, prior to doing so, we make sure that the candidates that we offer to employers are well trained, well assessed, and well vetted. Sometimes we offer working interviews. So instead of an employer, saying, I don't know if they can do it, well, let us show you. So we'll ask a person if they're interested in working at that particular site to go in and do the work. You're not going to be paid. It's considered a working interview, and that gives the employer an opportunity to see just what we do. And then build the bottom line for the employer. So it's a proven fact that when employers hire the people that we support, they're going to hire people who are dependable. So low turnover, low absenteeism, and we mentioned it before, transportation, it's some way or somehow, there's multiple options. It's not going to be an option. And then there are also potential tax incentives for some employers who hire people who are differently able. Ethically, I'm not allowed to give a lot of details on that because I'm not certified, but I would suggest to seek an accountant, tax professional, or tax consultant. So now we're going to get into the meat of what we do in employment services. So I mentioned it earlier, but our first department that people usually come in at is discovery. Again, that's where you learn about yourself, and we have an opportunity to learn about you more so that we know how to guide you and also how to present you to an employee. Some of those training opportunities, so discovery is one, but other training opportunities include work-based learning experience, and we shorten that to WBLE, W-B-L-E. That's actually a DOORS service. So we have two funding streams. And one of the funding streams is DOORS, a state of Maryland agency. And they actually, long story short, they'll pay us to help the people that they're funding to get employment. So community internships. So instead of working for pay, maybe work for experience, build some of those skills. Learn and work readiness skills. Those are classroom style training where they're building and learning soft skills. And then identify ideal conditions for employment. What is a good fit for you? Again, based on your preferences, your interests, and your strengths. Develop and explore. So these are our job developers or job placement professionals, building those relationships with employers, networking, and then trying to match the right person to the right job. Work and Thrive. These are our job coaches. Again, so we mentioned it earlier, we actually partner with you. We're there the initial 10 shifts or until the person is comfortable. And then after that, don't fret, we're gonna be with you. We're gonna come back every other week or so, so about 2 times a month, just to make sure things are going smoothly. And if things happen in between those visits, we're a phone call away or an email away. So this is our source of advertisement. We are asking people to give us a shot, to be confident in our workforce, to be confident in our employment services team, and to be comfortable with hiring our workforce. They're well vetted, they're positive people, they want to work, and they just want the same benefits that you and I have. Now I'm going to share a video.
We're worried about safety issues of them getting along with other workers or other workers getting along with them.
We went to the people who work in our manufacturing team and said, we have this opportunity. What do you think? And pretty much everybody said, we don't think it'll work.
You have all kind of accidents that can happen. You working with glass, you know, there's a high precaution.
When we got this idea that Acadia was doing this, I thought, I don't think it's going to work. You know, I really don't think it's going to work. When the idea came to me about hiring people with disabilities, I was concerned about their safety, how compatible they would be with the workplace, and if it would be productive. I'd never thought that I would ever see somebody from the art handling glass. It seemed dangerous to me, but they succeeded far above the capabilities that I thought they would have. It was a big risk that Acadia took to do this. Basically, right now, my mind's blown at the accomplishments that these people from the ARC have succeeded at. And to me, I can sit back and say, you know what? Acadia made a good choice.
My responsibility is to train new people as they come in. And my biggest concern was how well could they hold a thought? How could they comprehend? You know, and I was surprised. I was surprised because they was able to comprehend. They even taught me some things I didn't know. And they fit it right in, you know.
I think what management did right here was they came to us first. They got the buy-in, they took to their people.
Buy-in has to come from the bottom up. It has to come from the men and women who are going to be working side by side, because if they don't think it'll work, it won't work.
As far as I'm concerned, most businesses, you've got a bunch of employees out there that don't want to work at all. Now you got a bunch of them that do want to work. And all you got to do is give them the opportunity to let them show you what they can do.
I had this guy hired. First I had him glazing. Then I had him closing. And that's how on the glass. And so when I seen that he was able to do that, I went up and said, hey, this man can drop. Now he one of the fastest droppers on my line.
15% of our direct labor force is supported by the ARC of the Northern Chesapeake. These people are within the top 3% company-wide for attendance. They're within the top 8% of productivity. All of us are quantified. Our sales guys have goals. I have goals. We did not adjust the goal for the people who came from the ARC. The only thing we did was parse the job. Everything we did to make it safer for the men and women who were placed by the ARC made it safe for all of us. As of yesterday, 3,015 days without a lost time accident. That's company-wide. And those are working days, not calendar days. So it's over 10 years. Pretty much as long as our partnership with the ARC has been. First of all, Jessie is amazing to me.
She speaks to you in the morning, you speak back, and speaking to anybody else. Amanda, she'll come up and she'll hug me all the time. Charles be talking about his dogs, and they're all really great people to work with.
Heck, even the best of them out there forget how to do stuff, so what's the difference?
Just the way they coincide with and cope with their disabilities and really overcome things. I mean, I don't think I could do it if I was in their position. Because my thinking was, there's no way it's gonna happen. There's no way it's gonna work. But now my mind's thinking, when are we gonna hire somebody else?
I like working with people from the art because they're more focused. I got some good workers out there, but the people from the art are focused. Trust and believe that.
When I first started thinking about working around people with disabilities, I was scared at first, but after working around them for years, it's just like anybody else,
They actually are more productive than some of the employees that we do have now. Their attitudes are better. They're willing to go wherever you ask them to go with a lot of grief, and they're actually happy to be here.
They're eager to learn, they're willing to work, they work steady and they work hard.
If they're willing to work, take a chance on them. That's all you can do.
Now you have to give people opportunity and a chance.
They can do just as much as anybody else can do, or better. Like I said, they take much pride in what they do.
If you've taken the time, take the step, make the move. Take your time to work with the job developers, the job coaches. Really make sure they understand the job, because that's what the ARC of the Northern Chesapeake sells at. They know their people. They'll take the time to learn your business. Use that expertise. We all need good people. Every employer needs good people. These are good people that come from a pool that you may have not considered. But I guarantee you that it will work and your company will be changed in a way that you had never thought it could possibly be changed.
What a great video that really showcases the concerns. In a glass company, you do have a lot of concerns with safety and liability, and all of those concerns were just obliterated with that story. So thank you so much, Tony, for sharing that. That was wonderful.
Thank you. And I'm not sure if you, and first of all, that was Acadia. And if you YouTube the relationship between Acadia and the ARC Northern Chesapeake region, there are multiple videos. One of them is interviewing the young lady that had the helmet on. She's actually blind. So just think about that concept, blind, working in a warehouse, or not a warehouse, manufacturing that produces glass, yeah, so they, in the accommodations to keep the people safe were minimum. They put down things on the floor just so Jessica can feel it, but it's like cardboard and like bubble wrap and stuff like that. It's very minimum. It wasn't like very expensive or anything. And again, if you go to the YouTube video, she's interviewed, and one of the things that she takes pride in is that sometimes she can take her parents out to dinner. They're always taking her, paying for Jessica's meal, but Jessica has an opportunity to contribute, like we talked about earlier. And if you notice, we usually use the word the term differently able. We rarely say disability. If we say disability, is because that's what is written somewhere, so that's a proper term. But with in-house, we say differently able. Why? Because we believe that everybody is able. It just may be a little different than the way you and I do the job. And I don't really think that's so much different from us. We have people who are left-handed, and they do things different than a person who is right-handed, but they do the same job. And so the people that we support, same concept.
100%. left brain people and right brain people, like that
Mhm.
more artistic, creative side versus that more
Exactly.
analytical operation side.
Mhm.
So you're
Some of
spot
us
on
are
there.
visual learners, some of us, you give them a manual and let them go. They'll read it and figure it out on their own. Not me, I'm the visual. Um, yeah, but we have I don't know, do you want to introduce the next speakers or you want me to introduce them?
I say go for it, or Jeannie,
Okay.
who I think you, I know we have an employer here with us, and we have some special guests. So let's
Mhm.
introduce them and get their feedback and input on how wonderful the ARC Northern Chesapeake Region's training program is.
So we have a job coach with us, Gabe. He supports Trisha, who works for Citizens. So we're gonna let Trisha speak first. She's sitting right next to her job coach. Trisha, please share. Well, I already said your name, but you say your whole name and where you work and what you do. And then also share how Gabe helped you.
I'm Patricia McBride. I work at Citizens Care Rehabilitation Center. I'm a dietary aide. I love my job.
What do you do as a dietary aide?
I'm all over the place. I do coffee to the dish room. I do line starter, where you take the condiments and put them on the trays.
That's wonderful, and you love
And
it.
cold been there 4 years.
How
That's
many years, Trisha?
What?
How many years have you been there?
4.
4 years. Mhm.
Mhm.
What's your favorite part about your job?
Just oh gosh, it's a
I put
hard
you on the spot.
question.
Sorry, it is a hard
Yes.
question.
Um,
Do you love
Trisha,
interacting with the
do
people?
you get to interact with the people, the residents of Citizens?
yes,
Yeah. And you like talking to them, correct?
I like talking to them.
And they
They're
love to
so
see you come
funny.
around. And Trisha, you're so good at your job that sometimes your boss asks you to stay over or come in a day that you don't work, correct?
Correct.
And you don't have a problem getting back and forth to work?
Nope.
Okay. 4 years.
That's
4
wonderful.
years.
Congratulations.
And Trish, didn't you just win an award?
I did.
What do you remember what your reward was?
Employee of the year.
Employee of the year.
That's incredible.
Isn't it?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you recall who honored you with that award?
Gabe.
Gabe nominated you, yes. But Gabe nominated you, but who presented the award? Do you remember? Was it Harford County?
Harford County.
Yeah.
Executive.
That's wonderful. We're going to hear from him in a few minutes. So
So someone that represented his office offered you that reward. Yeah.
that's incredible. Congratulations. And
Thank
Gabe,
you.
thank you so much for all that you do and, being able to support her getting Employee of the Year. That's incredible.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Like Tony said earlier, it's really just getting to be there for the people that we support and getting to see them grow, and then also growing myself in that process. And that has been extremely beneficial, along with the Employee of the Year award.
What has been the most rewarding part of your job for you? Is it seeing the successes and seeing them just thrive and grow in their roles?
Yeah, great question. I think for me personally, definitely what you said. I think the biggest thing I have been impacted by is the stories that these people hold. Because everyone has a story, just that's individualism. But in the people that we support and the people that I support and the ARC supports, I've just heard such incredible stories of perseverance and overcoming adversity, and then to see kind of, even Tony mentioned it earlier, the things that even this person we support that is blind is able to do working with glass. It's inspiring to me, and sends me out to the different people that I know that are employers that are looking for people to inspire them to bring on people that we support as well.
That's incredible. Well, thank you so much to both of you for being here and sharing your stories.
Thank you.
Yeah. We have an employer with us, Mary from Bray and M. And Mary is gracious. She gets our mission. She actually hired a person, but also Mary allows us to come in and do those assessments that I talked about earlier, and to build skills. So if someone's interested in retail, for example, Mary will teach them some skills that are transferable. She may not be able to hire everybody that would like to work in her store, but she is able and gracious enough to let us come in and do assessments there and learn some valuable skills. Mary?
So I'm Mary, I'm the operations director for Bray and M, and we love our partnership with the ARC and with Sharon is our employee. She's here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and she's amazing. Probably one of the most punctual, reliable, happy, friendly employees that we have. Not that they're all not friendly, but she's really wonderful and is constantly productive. Like if she's doesn't have things to do, she's asking constantly, what can I do next? What can I do next? What can I do next? So she's awesome. And we love her. She's like any other employee. She's included in our holiday parties and our birthday celebrations and our celebrations for winning awards and all of that. She's part of that, just like every other employee is. And then on Thursdays, right now it's happening actually, we have different people coming through and being taught different skills, and I guess doing the job development and trying them out as assessments, and they've been fabulous too. We're considering adding an employee. We're just not sure yet if we need one at this point, but if we do, we'd certainly go back to the ARC.
Thank you.
That's incredible. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And I love that
sure.
being able to show these real life examples of the success stories. So thank you, Tony and Jeannie, for bringing everybody on this morning. And it is my pleasure to welcome. We have both the Acting Deputy Director of Economic Development for Harford County with us, Raj Goel, and our Harford County Executive, Bob Casserly, who is joining us. And as we talked about earlier in this seminar, County Executive, during National Disability Employment Awareness Month, the county is definitely dedicated to making sure the awareness is there and sharing opportunities. So I just want to say thank you. We appreciate your time this morning and welcome you to be a part of this seminar and give us your input on the wonderful resources at the ARC Northern Chesapeake region.
Yes, so thank you. I appreciate that, Angela. And welcome everybody involved in the call here. It's starting out my administration, one of the first locations we toured was the ARC, and so I'm very appreciative of the important role that they play, and including folks of all abilities, especially those of the differing abilities classes in our workforce is vital. And I know I've had great discussions with the different components of our county government about how we can work with the ARC and other organizations really to expand inclusiveness. And I think this is a role that the government needs to play. I see a lot of the private sector doing it, and my determination is to say, hey, the private sector can do it, the government sector can do it. So we're determined to do our part. And I appreciate the various folks who've contacted us to support this mission. And I appreciate you all sponsoring today's symposium. I look forward to hearing some of the great ideas. So thank you, Angela. And thanks to everybody else. And I know Raj is here to participate as well, and he's very committed as well to the entire mission. So thank you all.
Thank you. As we are in Business Appreciation Week, this was a great symposium to have, and we know that you're very dedicated to employing employees with differing abilities and making sure that awareness is there. So thank you very much for making the time today. I know it's been a busy week for you. And good morning, Raj. How are you today?
I'm very well. This has been a great conversation, and I appreciate being part of it. As the county executive mentioned, the administration, and certainly as on behalf of the Office of Economic Development, we're here to lend our support and to ensure that employers know about the tremendous resources that the ARC, and I know the county executive has personally asked all of us to make sure that we do everything possible to support this great initiative. And as you know, I was on the ARC board for many years, and one of their biggest fans. Their supported employment programs are second to none, and I've personally seen firsthand the great stories and the great impact this has on families, and seeing mothers and fathers seeing their children not only get amazing services from the ARC, but the pride and the motivation and what it does. It changes lives. And then when you look from the employer, and I thought your video was spot on. I know that story, Acadia. I know all the folks there, and and I cannot underestimate what when we say it changed that company and it changed that employer, it changed the employees. That you cannot understate. It was an amazing story, and so anything that we can do, again, the county executive is 1,000% committed, and we look forward to working and partnering with everyone on this call and expanding this amazing program.
Thank you. And thank you for your dedication to the awareness of this program through the ARC. We started this morning by talking about how workforce needs are something that we definitely hear in our roles in economic development with the chamber. And so being able to share this information and educate employers on this opportunity is vital, like you said. And I know you're shouting it from the rooftop, so thank you so much. Penny and Jeannie, any final thoughts from you? I know a slide had how to get in touch with someone to participate in the program, but if you want to give that information again, and I ask you, Mary, if any employees have any questions about the program or really want to have that one-on-one conversation, is it okay that they stop in to see you and you can talk about all of the wonderful attributes that have come out of this program for you?
We'd be glad to.
Thank you so much.
So my phone number, I'll repeat it. We probably did skip over that slide pretty quickly. 410-836-7177, extension 316. But it's easier to get through to me on email, and it's rather long. So L as in Latonia, CANNON hyphen. I said that wrong. Let's start all over. It's L Cobb Cannon. So LCOBB hyphen Cannon, CANNON at arcncr.org.
Thank you so much. And I took some great screenshots that we will use, but to recap the morning, I cannot think of a reason that an employer who is seeking talented individuals would not contact you, because you really do all that you can to eliminate any barriers or concerns and make sure that the employee as well as the business are set up for success. So I think I'm incorrect in saying that, and I hope your phone will be ringing off the hook.
I hope so too.
Thank you so much for this. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Again, you will be shown information on how to get more involved in this program. And as October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month. We hope you really consider taking this opportunity and or sharing it with your other business contacts. Thank you to all of you for being a part of this morning, and have a great day.
Thank you.
You
You
too.
as
Thank
well.
you.
You.
Thank you.